Can you see him? It's one of my dogs, that's Alfie. I think he's joining me for today's video. So today's video is about a foundation that I'm in love with, absolutely in love with, and it's the Maybelline Superstay 24 Hour Foundation. I'm in love with Maybelline. Every foundation I've tried from Maybelline's it's been great, whether it be hydration, coverage, whatever, always really happy. My face has been cleansed, moisturised, I have my primer already on, and I have been using the Rimmel Lasting Finish primer. Really nice primer, especially if you're like me, you've got large pores, there's some scarring on the face, it sort of really helps smooth that out. I use quite a lot of primer, I have quite dry skin sometimes, and I feel if I've got quite a lot of primer on, it just seems to help keep the moisture in and keeps the makeup there all day. So I haven't seen many people using these types of sponges, but it's in the shape of a beauty blender. However, it's very thin. These are from Primark. You get a big bag of them for about £2, and I use it dry. It doesn't really absorb any water if you get it wet, but really nice, really just easy to blend in your foundation. And one of my big tips is when you're trying to get a lot of full coverage out of your foundation is to put thin layers on and build it up. And I'm going to do this section of my face first so that you can really compare it to this side. And as you can see, I've got lots of redness sort of all over my face. I've got broken veins here and here as well. So I will get started, and as I said, my face is already primed and ready to go. So I've used one pump, a little bit, and I'm going to try and cover as much of the face as possible with this one dab. And obviously it does take a little bit of time to build these little thin layers up. I actually did a really quick video for Instagram yesterday using this foundation, and it got quite a lot of good feedback, and I think people were quite surprised just how well it covered. But I really find that you can use really any foundation. Obviously there are some that really don't offer any coverage, but I really find that this method really works for me when it comes to building it up. I feel that when you do it so thin, you're giving it a chance to dry before putting more layers on. Now, it's not just 2 layers and all is done. This does take a few layers, but I find the finish looks really beautiful, really natural, and it doesn't look cakey. It looks really even and just really nice. And this is actually how I would do my makeup most days, especially seeing as we're all in quarantine. We've got all the time in the world to make sure that our makeup's perfect. And this is the second pump of this foundation that I'm now going in with, and you'll start to see just shortly the coverage that's going to build slowly. But you see how already, compared to this side, you can see how much that's just really calming down the redness. And a lot of this redness is broken veins and a breakout that's healing up. And I get breakouts when I abuse my skin too much and it gets dry and it overcompensates in the oil, and then I get little breakouts that take forever to go away. So I really do try to look after my skin as much as possible. Except today, I had a full face of makeup on, didn't think I was going to get this video done. So I decided when I found that I would have time to be able to film this, I went and washed my face, put my moisturiser back on and a nice primer, and hopefully it won't dry it. But can you see that difference where There is a wee bit still shining through, but we are going to keep going back over these bits. But I really think you get such a nice finish with this foundation. There is this little bit here that won't cover because it's a little healing broken bit of skin. So it's not really going to cover that too well. The foundation doesn't want to stick to it, and I noticed that earlier as well, unfortunately. But hopefully the rest of this face can look nice. Already done my eye makeup today. I threw the eyeshadow at my face essentially. I just wanted a really quick, nice glam, but not too glam because I'm stuck in the house. My better half is away to the shops just now to go and get some messages. If you don't know what messages are, in Scotland we call shopping messages. Unless it's for clothes, then we call it shopping, retail therapy. So, you see what I mean by the finish on it's quite natural, it doesn't look cakey. I do set this down with a light dustiny pressed powder, and you'll see that in just a second once I've finished the rest of this face. So already we're 6 minutes in, and I'm still going to go in with some more just to really get that coverage. And then I'm going to do this side, but there you can see the difference, and you can see how red my skin is compared to this where it's all blanked out. But I really love the difference, and I was really impressed with this foundation. I have another one that's also Superstay, but they're different bottles, and they seem, in my personal opinion, to be different, because this is the Superstay as well, but this one I feel is a bit more matte, and the matte one I find you can build it quicker, but it's quite easy to make it look cakey. It's really good for a really fast, quick couple of layers, but you can very easily just do one layer too many. Whereas this, I think you could just keep building this. And I had used this foundation, as I said, in another video. And I just feel it's such an easy foundation to really blend out. And it stays all day, it's really flattering. Maybelline has been a brand I have used for many moons, since I very first started wearing makeup. I think Maybelline was really the most popular brand, and I think it's a really versatile foundation. All of the Maybelline ones that I have, and in upcoming videos I've got quite a few Maybelline foundations there to show. They all do different things, they all have different finishes to them, but you can set them, you can not set them and just wear them on their own. You can really do so much with them. They're not, the other Maybelline Superstay that I have isn't totally matte, but it's not a natural finish and it's not a sheer finish. It's one that's just, to me it's really hard to describe, but it's a really nice foundation. All the Maybelline ones that I have other ones that aren't Maybelline of course, but Maybelline so far really is one of my favourite makeup brands. I have their Master Blush palette as well, which is one of my favourite blush palettes. The colours are superb, they look very, very vivid, almost verging on intimidating, but they're beautiful to apply. And they've got so much pigment, no kickback, no fallout. They're powder foundations, and it also has a highlighter in the Master Blush palette. It's a really nice palette, very versatile as well, for skin to moment. Best not to talk when trying to do that. But already you can see, this is quite a bad breakout here, you can still see it's quite inflamed and quite red and the skin's all shiny, so it's not wanting to cover incredibly well. However, when I do put the powder on to really set it and to set this in place, it does offer a wee bit more coverage, which is why I do quite like to use pressed powders. Pressed foundations are actually my favourite to use to set makeup. I think they're not as drying as a setting powder, and because my skin is dry, I want to maintain as much of my moisture as I possibly can throughout the day. And it just reminds me of a foundation that me and my mum were talking about just the other day, and it's the number 7 foundation. I can't remember much of the details of it, but it's for really oily skin and it's got powder suspended in oil or something. It's very matte. Now at the time I was experiencing quite oily skin and I thought I had oily skin. In reality my skin was overcompensating for being so dry and dehydrated that I was breaking out like mad. And I went along to Boots and they had makeup girls there, and I got a girl who, in my own personal opinion, couldn't be bothered. She done a shade test. They have a wee BP scanner thing that they put on your skin. It tells you what shade you should be. She used that, decided that the shade it was suggesting would be too pale, so she went with one that was 2 shades darker. It was far too dark. I am really pale and I thought I had quite oily skin, and she gave me the mattest foundation ever, to the point that it was like wearing a clay mask. It was so thick. I didn't think you really got that much coverage out of it, because if you had any dry skin, it really emphasised that. And I don't know, maybe if the girl was a little bit more experienced, she would have recognised that my skin was screaming for some help. But that foundation I would really like to show a video of, and especially if I could find someone who'll let me put makeup on them that has oily skin. So there we go. I think that's us about done. Just see if we can get this bit. So there you go. So my skin is quite red, and that's why you're getting this sort of colour difference. I am really red, whereas this shade is actually perfect for me. This is in the shade, it's all in German, True Ivory is the shade that one's in. I can wear porcelain foundations, ivory foundations, beige. I go more towards porcelain, except in this, the Huda. This is an angel food. Someone gave me this, kindly gave me this, because they got it and they're just about as pale as me, and it was too white, and I thought you can't get too pale a foundation until I tried this. I'll do a video on it sometime, but it is the palest foundation I think I've ever come across. But it is a great product to use as a base or as a highlighter. Surprisingly, it is quite good for those things. So to set my foundation, I'm going in with my W7 Flawless Face pressed colour correcting mineral powder, and this is how it looks. On the inside it's got the little colour correctors in there. I think this is just a really nice light way for me to set my makeup. With this foundation, I haven't tried it, but I feel if I went straight in with my contour it would just go really patchy, because it's going to really soak into the more wetter parts of the foundation. Whereas my other Fit Me that I showed you, that you can put on and go straight into with your powder product, and they won't go patchy. So I think we're almost ready to go in with a blush. And the blush I haven't tried. I actually just got it in the post from Birchbox, and I cancelled my subscription to them when I got my last order because for £12 I was less than impressed. Really less than impressed for what I got in the box. So I actually cancelled the subscription, but it turned out when I got my subscription it was near the time for their next box, I suppose, but it didn't say that when I signed up to it, or at least I don't remember it saying that. But anyway, I got this box. This is blush, and it's from Dome, never heard of them. English Rose is the colour. That's what it looks like. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go in with just a little bit of bronzer to warm up my face. So I'm going in with my Honolulu bronzer by W7. I'm taking my number 7 brush. That brush was bought with that foundation I was telling you about. And it's the dearest brush I've had, and yet I've got loads of Primark brushes that are, if anything, better than this brush. And this brush set me back almost £40. The only thing that's nice about it is the long handle. I mean, it is a nice brush, but definitely wouldn't say it was worth the money that I paid for it. You see how that just, but yeah, I think that's quite nice. So I'm going to throw some lipstick on and I'll come back and we'll run through this foundation look. Face, blush, everything's done. Superstay is that this one has microflex technology, and I will say there is something in it because sometimes when I have foundations on and they dry, I get a tickly nose. Recently found out from another YouTube that that's because they're drying. Foundation, and I think it just looks fresh all day long. I had it on all day yesterday and it's just a really, really nice foundation. But I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for joining us today. Bye!